What's up, everybody? We're going to be doing a quick tutorial on making Paripi rings. So first thing what you want to do is you want to hit Shift A. Let's open this up. You go to Mesh, make a cylinder. Then on here you can determine, usually it's closed like this, but you open this up and you can change the amount of vertices that you want. We're going to make a very spiky ring right now. So let's go ahead and make this like 64. Alright, once you have that set, you can't change anything else. That is gone. You're set with this number. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make it thinner on the Z axis. So you're going to hit S and Z, and you're going to lock it in place until you get a size you want. Like, let's say about like you can hold shift while you're doing this to make it slower as well. So we'll probably do it about right there. So now we have this disc, but we need to make this into a tube shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit tab to go to edit mode. And here you have three choices: vertices, lines, and faces. So if you hit 1 on your keyboard, it goes to vertices. 2 is line segments. You know, you can click lines and stuff. And here's a really cool trick: if you hit Alt and click on a line, it'll select all the lines in the quickest way, I guess. And then you have 3, which is selects faces. So we're gonna go ahead and hit X, delete faces. We're gonna hit X, delete faces. And now we have this like empty tube. So we're gonna add a modifier to this. So we're gonna go over here to our modifier tab. We're gonna add a modifier. And under generate, you're going to go to solidify. Or solidify, I'm sorry. Here you can change the thickness of that, whether you want it to go out or in. So we're just going to make it inward. And we're probably just going to make it like this. This is just an example, so we're not going to get too in depth. So, now that we have that made, now let's make it a little thicker. I'll make it about like right there. So now you're going to apply it by hitting this down. Oh wait, I'm sorry. You can't apply it yet. You got to get out of edit mode. Go back here. Now you can apply it. And the modifier is gone, and now you're left with the tube. So we're going to go back into here. We're going to be on face select, and we're just going to select, you know what, actually, let's go ahead and scale this on the Z a little bit. And we'll make it like that. That's perfectly fine. So now we're just going to select every other face by holding shift. So when you shift click, it'll just keep selecting. This will make a lot of sense when I'm done with this part, because we're going to use a repeating type of function. So we're going to select all of these. Oh, and there's one also thing I'm going to have to reset too. So now that we have all these all selected, we can go back, tab out of it, and you can hit Control A. This will apply all transforms. You can do the location, rotation, scale, or I'm just going to do all transforms because it's easier. So we'll go back here, and now we have all these selected. So what we'll do is we'll hit right click and extrude faces along the normal. This will make sure that every face individually goes in its own directional method. So now we have something that looks kind of like a gear. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select all the opposite faces. And we're just going to keep selecting them all. Come on, sticky mouse. I don't know why my mouse is acting weird. I think I need to change the battery. The reason we didn't select every single face, because if we would have done it that way, it would have like made solid. It would have been solid, and they wouldn't be individual origins. So what we're going to do here is hit Shift R, and it's basically going to repeat the last function that we did. So now that we've done this, we can go and select this face and hit M, and this is going to merge, and what we want to do is merge at center. So now like it kind of like made a spike. So what we can do now is I'm pretty sure if I do something like this and I hit Shift R, oh no, okay, so it's going to merge them all at center. So we have to do it individually, but Shift R, oh, so I can't do that now because I did a delete function. So now we just have to start from scratch. And we'll just hit Shift R for all of these. This will quickly get you. See, I screwed up. It's not gonna let me merge again, so I can just merge manually again because we haven't really changed anything. So Shift R, Shift R, Shift R. We're gonna do this 64 times. Fun. And basically, there you go. You have a basic Paripi beam. Now, if you hit tilde right under escape, you can go to different viewports in orthographic view. Or orthographic view, I'm sorry. Then you can hit Shift Z to go in X-ray mode. You hit 1. And then you know, if you're not satisfied with the length, you can go through and select all these points. And if you don't like that, you know, if you think they're a little too small, you can just hit Scale, Shift Z. Now, by hitting Shift on the Z axis, it will know it won't scale on the Z axis. It'll only scale on the X and Y. So you can like bring it out or bring it in, you know, however much you want. So I'm just gonna make it like that. We'll go hit Shift Z again to bring it back into solid view. And then you have this like you know, basic Paripi ring. Not that difficult. And if we want to add a little style to it, we can hit 2, Alt click on both of these, Alt Shift if you want to do multiple. And we can just like maybe bevel it out by hitting Control B and then moving away. You see, like, and if you want more segments, you can just scroll your wheel and make more segments. Now, when you finally let go of it, it's going to bring up this bevel option. I mean, you can clamp override, which, it won't allow you to go past a certain limit. If we were to take the clamp override off, you see, like, it does not care. But if you do the clamp override, it won't allow you to go past a certain point because the vertices are touching each other. So yeah, now we have this cool little design, just rounded on the inside. Now we can even take it further if we really want. Let's go to face selection by hitting 3. You can you can hit this one, and then if you hold Control and click here, it'll select everything between it. It'll find the easiest path. Now if I click over here, see how like it was from over here, then it decided to go down and then back up to that side again because that was the easiest path it could find. But we'll select those, and we'll hit Shift. We only have 4 selected, then we'll Shift Control. See, it's going to be a little weird, so we're probably just going to have to Shift click, Shift clicked. Oops. Shift click, Shift click, Shift click, Shift clicked. Shift click, Shift click, Shift click, Shift click. So now we can actually extrude this. You can do a regular extrude because these faces are flat and it's always going to follow the face direction, which the angle is at 0 on the Z. So if you hit E, it's just going to extrude straight up. Now if you really want to get a little more specific, you can hit Scale and see how it brings it up like that. But that might be a little too far, so let's hit Grab, which is the G button, so we can grab it. You can also lock it to a vertex hit by hitting Z, X, or Y. We're going to want it on Z, obviously. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to hit Scale again. And we're going to bring that up. We're going to scale it inwards. Then we're going to hit Extrude one more time. I'm going to bring that up. And, this is pretty decent. I mean, we're going to hit Scale again to bring it more. Now you have this, like, kind of cool little shape, right? But you see, like, this is just one angle. And, it's kind of not smooth. So we kind of want to round that out a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll go to 2, which is the face selection. Then we'll hit Alt-click, and it should select everything around that. And then we'll hit Shift-Alt. And it'll select all that, Shift-Alt, it'll select all that, Shift-Alt. And then we'll hit Control-B again. And you see now, we have this smoother face because we did add more faces by beveling it. So yeah, this is basically a very simple little tutorial. I mean, we can even get crazier, add in like let's see what it's like with so that's gonna be kind of weird. So we'll do this. So yeah, that's not gonna be the greatest idea, but we can do like we did very originally. We can leave these two off. And let's extrude one more time. Actually, let's go ahead and do this for all of these. Alright, yeah, that's fine. So we can do extrude again. Extrude these out. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I like that. Actually, let's make it a little bigger because when you merge the faces, it's going to shrink a little bit, I believe. Let's see. If I hit M, no, it stayed the same. So now we can just hit Shift R. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, we can't do that. So let's extrude. I'll do it about right there again. We'll select all the other faces. Alright, that's not going to work either because we accidentally hit Control Z. Try when you're doing this, try not to screw up and hit wrong faces. Sometimes it's hard to break habits of hitting Control Z when I screw up. So we're going to hit Shift R. And it seems like they're all connected, but they're separated by the faces inside. So now when I hit center, you know what? Actually, let's do it differently. Let's make this fun. Actually, so let's extrude it about halfway that we want. We're gonna just shift click all of these. Oops, we don't want that one. To just unselect it, just hold shift and click again. Alright, so shift R. That'll bring us all the way up here. Now we can just like kind of just select them all. Because this really isn't going to matter anymore because they're all separate faces. So now we're just going to extrude it again. Alright, so now we have some kind of nice. Now what we can do here is hit merge at center, then shift R. We'll do this for all of these. Shift R is a command where it's just a repeating thing. I don't know the terminology for the technical term. So after we do that, we can now go to 2 to select lines, and we'll just select this, and we'll scale it, Shift Z to lock the axis, and the further away you are from the origin, the easier it is to scale down. So I'll do something like that. Now, let me do this again, just Shift R all of these. Just Alt Shift on the lines, it'll select all of them. And just repeat. Alright, now we have all that done. We can hit Control B again. And you can make it only 1, you can 2 or 3, however much poly you really want to use. I would not go too heavy on the poly count. Especially if you're making Paripi guns, because poly count will affect performance. Just like using too many shaders. So we'll go about right there is fine. And we'll select that. So now we can hit Alt R, or I'm sorry, Alt click to select all lines, and then we can just do this again. Just there's a lot of repeating in Blender if you're doing things like this. There's all sorts of different methods of modeling, but so these are just some of the quick keys. They're accessible in Blender. Blender is actually a pretty neat software once you start getting used to all the quick keys. And there we go. You got a nice little Paripi beam. Or, I'm sorry, not a Paripi beam, a Paripi ring. And if you want, you can even get a little more technical and let's say you want this to come to a sharp point. You can just always go into tab, hit 3, select all these, and then just merge at center. And you can do the same for all of these. If you hit Control, it should select all of those with no weird clipping issues. center. Merge at center. Then you could always go and go to 2. If you don't like that, you can always scale it. Lock it on the Z. And you're going to want to do this to all of them to make sure they match. Shift R. Shift R. Alt click Shift R. And you'll probably want to do that for a couple. Shift Z. Yeah, there you go. And then just a basic style of whatever you want to do. There's all sorts of different methods. I'm still learning myself. I primarily use 3ds Max for 20 something years. And so yeah, I'm still learning this. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying this. Anyways, thanks for watching.